Hello, you guys. So, today I'm going to be returning to my origins as a child, and I'm going to be drawing on MS Paint. And my only goal here is to get a kind of a decent drawing out of this experience. So, let's just go and hope for the best. So, I started my journey of rediscovering this art program by basically swatching a couple of brushes to see which ones I liked best and which ones I wanted to use. And I was pleasantly surprised by the brushes that were there because there were really fun textures and I really enjoyed that. And I don't remember MS Paint having that, so this was quite a pleasant surprise for me. I used to draw all the time on MS Paint when I was like a kid, like we're talking 5 to maybe 10 years old, and I used to have this like really chunky computer, and me and my sister would draw using MS Paint, and we would literally draw only using like shapes. And I remember the like spray can airbrush tool. So I don't remember MS Paint being this, like, I don't know, good. I mean, it was pretty good. I didn't have much problems. The only problem that I had, which was my bad, was choosing a very low quality canvas, and I guess you can see that by how low quality the footage of the drawing is and how blurry it is. But yeah, that was the only problem. So I was really enjoying the process of doing that. Also here you can see that I started my first kind of try. I didn't want to go with something like super hard or complicated for a first try to actually get a decent drawing. So I decided to just like pull up a reference from Pinterest as usual, like what is new, and then I decided to kind of draw something inspired from this reference, and I really enjoyed doing this one because of the poofy hair and everything. So I firstly started the sketch with the pencil brush, I think, and at first I didn't know there were layers and I was like very sad about that, but then I discovered that there is layers, and that was just like such a happy moment for me. So I was really happy that there were layers, because at first I was like drawing on top of the sketch, which was erasing everything that I did, and I didn't like any of the results that I was having from testing that out. So finally I realized that there were actually layers, and I am really happy with this experience. I went into it kind of thinking that I would struggle so much and I wouldn't be able to get a decent drawing, but actually I didn't have any problems while drawing. The brushes are kind of limited, but I mean, they are such a nice selection of textures and different things, so you can get a lot of like styles and textures in your drawing. The only thing that I was missing were like gradients or like kind of blending better or having opacity. I'm not sure if these are things that are actually in the program and I failed to discover that, or if they're not, but if they are, that will make it like a 10 out of 10. It's not the best for like doing artwork that you're going to like be like using afterwards for like printing or doing whatever, or if it's like going to be used for like a project or needs to be high quality. But it is such a fun art program to just like have fun and draw, and I just really enjoyed it, and I was actually really happy with the brushes. I really liked the textures, as I said before. Also, initially, I was thinking of doing a very like cool portrait and something like very realistic or something that has a lot of details, but then I decided to just go with my style and go with what I'm used to, and then do that firstly, and then we can just like venture out and kind of try new styles and kind of try to challenge the program, because the idea of this isn't really one of the like most like, I don't know what to say. It's not like one of the most innovative art programs, and it's not going to be an artist's first choice, but the goal here is to kind of get something like kind of decent out of it, which I think is really easy. And I went in it thinking it would be extremely hard, but I was proved otherwise. Also, really sorry if you can hear my cat crunching and munching in the background. But anyways, here is the end result. I really liked it, not so much, but compared to the like idea of MS Paint that I had in mind, this was a pretty good first result. Okay, now moving on to the second drawing, which I thought would technically be better, but it didn't turn out better. I decided to draw my old bias, who is Junghao from ZB1, and I kind of went a little bit ahead of myself here because I kind of struggle to capture likeness on like my normal art program, so I don't know what I was thinking of doing this drawing, but I tried my best. I kind of liked it more in the like line art slash sketch stage, and then once I colored it, which you'll see that there was like a coloring stage in the middle that didn't work out, and I felt that it ruined the sketch completely, and then I erased it and returned back to the sketch and tried to go for a softer look. But for this drawing, I was attempting to use a different brush, which this is the normal like kind of pen brush, but if you do it like really thin, you can kind of use it without seeing how like bulky it is. So it was kind of nice to use this because it wasn't as textured, so it was kind of easier and softer to work with. But if you prefer a textured kind of look, you should go for the crayon and the pencil brushes, because these were really nice for achieving that look. But I wanted to kind of do some variation and try different styles while drawing. Also, this picture is so cute, and I will try to put it. I know it doesn't look anything like the reference, but please be kind. I know that I'm not the best at capturing likeness and following the references really well, but I tried. So here, this is more like of a very similar style to what I'm used to. The only difference is the brush on Krita that I use is a bit softer and has a little bit of low opacity, so it's actually slightly better, but still I really enjoyed it. Also, another con about MS Paint that is kind of a deal breaker for me is that it doesn't save the drawing as a file that you can return to later and kind of work on another time. So this is a big problem because I'm a low energy artist here, so I don't really have the energy to just like sit down and do the full drawing at once. So this was actually really challenging for me. I don't know, it may be there and I may be just like stupid stupid and I don't know about it, but I tried to save it as a file and couldn't. I only found like JPEG and PNG. So if you know anything about that, let me know, because this could solve a lot of the issues. Here I was just like doing very minimal shading, nothing too much, because I was kind of getting tired, because as I said, I had to do these drawings in one sitting and it was really tiring. But here is the end result, and I hope you guys liked this short and sweet video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!